So here's essentially what computational chemistry is doing. Numerically approximating solutions to this equation here, the Schrödinger equation. The reason you want a computer to do that has a lot to do with the form of this equation right here of h caret. So it's obviously very complicated and tedious to do these calculations by hand, but a computer can do them millions of times faster. And here's kind of what's going on in this equation. These pitchfork-looking things are what's known as wave functions. They are complete descriptions of your chemical system of interest. So embedded in those wave functions is information about the location of all your atoms, the energy of your system, the momentum of the system, and anything else you might be concerned with. It's all in there. But you can't just look at one of these wave functions and know all that information. It's almost like an encoded message, and you have to break into that message to extract what you want. That's what our little h caret does. It is the code breaker. So it dives into the wave function and extracts the energy of the system given by E. So the computer is calculating the energy of the system. But if you're talking about the chemical reaction, then the energy is constantly changing as you go from reactants to products. So the computer has to calculate this over and over again. And we can see the result of that on what's called a potential energy curve. Now you don't need to pay attention to the particular molecule shown here. This is just an example of a system Dr. Drazen and I studied last year. But just to understand what one of these curves is showing us, as you go up, you are increasing the energy of the system. And as you go right, you are going through the succession of states necessary from reactants to products.